Welcome to our deep dive into the technical discussion presentation deck. Today our mission is to explore 5 really powerful business idioms.
Right, and these are so vital. They act as communication shortcuts in foreign corporate environments.
Exactly. And we're going to show you that these aren't just vocabulary words. I mean, they're vivid mental images that describe the entire life cycle of any major project.
Yeah, it's fascinating to look at them that way.
Because if you actually stop and listen to the language we use in corporate meetings,
Hmm.
it sounds less like business and more like an active construction site.
It really is highly physical.
Mm.
When we deal with the stress of those corporate environments, our brains just automatically reach for tangible physical metaphors.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's start with our first idiom, which is a hard and fast rule.
Right, so a hard and fast rule is an immovable benchmark. In the source material, they give a great example.
Oh, about the cooling period.
Yeah, exactly. They note that there is no hard and fast rule for a cooling period, though 2 hours is usually recommended.
Yeah, so what happens when a project lacks those concrete rules? I mean, to me, it becomes like a ball you've thrown that just hasn't landed yet.
Oh, that's a perfect analogy.
Right.
And it perfectly validates our second idiom, which is up in the air.
Right.
The source illustrates this by mentioning how the launch date for a new reducer is still up in the air due to a parts shortage.
Wow, yeah. So why do things stay up in the air like that? Usually it's due to our next concept.
Definitely. And what's fascinating here is the visual imagery of this third idiom, red tape.
Mm-hmm.
We usually just picture inefficient bureaucracy,
Yeah,
right?
just endless paperwork.
But the origin is literal red ribbons that were used to bind legal documents.
Oh, wow. Literal ribbons.
Yeah, it's that physical sensation of being bound up. The deck cites the example of needing to cut through red tape to get a prototype approved by Friday.
Right, but beating that bureaucracy often requires new tools, which brings us to a steep learning curve.
Oh, yeah.
I always liken this to physically climbing a steep hill. It's really difficult at first, but incredibly rewarding once you're at the top.
Absolutely. The deck provides the example of new diagnostic software that, well, it has a steep learning curve, but offers much better accuracy.
Right, but just when you master that learning curve, a sudden disruption happens out of nowhere.
Yeah, which leads us to our final idiom, to throw a wrench in the works.
Oh, I love the imagery for this one.
Right. It's so chaotic. You have to imagine a literal heavy metal wrench dropping right into a smooth running gearbox.
Just a total nightmare for the machine.
It completely paralyzes the process.
Yeah.
The source uses the example of how sudden changes in shipping regulations completely threw a wrench in the works.
It's the ultimate loss of control.
For sure.
Well, mastering these visual idioms makes professional communications so much more impactful for you. But it also leaves you with a final thought to mull over. Since so many of our workplace idioms are based on mechanical machinery, gears, wrenches, tape, how does treating our workplaces like machines change the way we treat the humans actually doing the work?
Oh, wow. That's a really profound question.
Right. Are we just expecting people to act like unfeeling cogs? It's definitely something for you to consider the next time you're trying to cut through the red tape.
Yeah.